From a basic standpoint, the definition of literacy is referred to as the ability to read and write. However, interpretations of the meaning of literacy are changing. No longer is it just written words printed on paper. Due to increased technology and the growing desire of innovation, new components are being added. The modern definition of literacy stems no longer from reading and writing alone, but from a combination of elements drawn together to further the interpretation of an idea. Modern literacy is very similar to that of a mixed media piece of artwork. An artist who works in mixed media generally uses a variety of mediums in his or her work to make a stronger and more thought-provoking statement. The creator can use different media such as colored pencil, acrylic paint, India ink, pastel, and even unconventional materials such as spackle or string. Multimedia artists use several of these components to create their work and convey their message. The use of mixed media adds not only more variety, but also draws more attention due to the stronger and bolder nature of the piece. To articulate this concept, here are two different artworks interpreting the presidential candidate, Donald Trump. The first piece is a watercolor painting by Debbie Chan depicting both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. The other piece is a mixed media portrait of Donald Trump made by Joy Feldman. While the two artists are depicting the same concept, the mixed media piece is clearly making a stronger statement. The harsh colors and expression in the work provided by the combination of mediums enables Feldman to portray his view of Donald Trump, which seems to be negative based on the distortion of Trump's features. Meanwhile, Chan's traditional watercolor painting lacks a point of view and does not evoke emotion in viewers. The dull colors and facial expressions of Trump do not make as strong of a statement as Feldman's piece. The viewer is left to question how the artist feels, proving that a single medium is not as effective as mixed media. But what does this have to do with literacy? Traditionally, literacy is referred to as reading words on paper, whether it be a book, newspaper, magazine, or any other form of written text. However, like an artist develops the ability to use new mediums, writers are beginning to indulge in new platforms. As Meltzer states in Everything's a Text, many new types of communication such as blogs, graphic novels, streaming video, slide presentations, text messages, and even images are fast becoming important aspects of literacy. This range of literary mediums has never before existed, which has caused the definition of literacy to expand greatly. With all of the new and growing platforms created by the internet, social media, and computer programs in general, writers are able to create mixed media work. Combining the elements of traditional written text along with the modern aspects of the internet allows both readers and writers to be more literarily developed. By creating literature with mixed media, the writer can more clearly state an idea and further develop it. Meanwhile, the reader is more likely to understand and interpret the idea as the writer intended. Print, digital, physical, and oral are all different modes authors may use to communicate their objective. It is the combination of a few or all of these modes that forms the contemporary definition of literacy, and it is the ability to use all of them effectively or interpret them correctly that makes one literate. In addition to choosing a medium, when reading and writing, it is important to understand the audience for which the work was intended. In both art and literature, every time someone sits down to compose, he or she imagines audiences they're writing to, and they're shaped by the audience they are imagining. To refer back to the political artworks, the intended audience was extremely significant in the marks the artist chose to make. For example, Feldman's piece was somewhat graphic, allowing one to make the assumption that it was not intended for children nor those not involved in politics. The piece depicts Trump in a negative way, which can lead one to assume it was either meant to disagree with the opinions of Trump supporters or agree with those of Clinton supporters. Either way, the imagined audience for the piece led the artist to make certain decisions in his mark-making. The same goes with literacy. For example, when creating a website for a school-related organization, which is a form of modern literature, the writer may choose to make the page simple and easy to navigate. They may also insert images and videos to clarify the purpose of the organization. The audience of the literature is almost as important as the elements used to create it. Whether it be art or literature, the strongest outcome is achievable when it is drawn from a variety of different components. It is no longer just paint or pencil, written essay or slide presentation, but whichever combination is most effective in conveying the author's intended purpose. The writer successfully makes a statement while the reader grasps the intention. That is the modern definition of literacy.